Hey guys, in this video, I want to try and answer the question, is rosemary oil helpful for hair growth? We'll look at the studies, I'll look at some of the feedback I've got, and at the end, I'll just kind of give you a synopsis of my thoughts. If you're looking for other natural therapies outside of drugs and surgery, you want to go more natural, make sure to grab the checklist at curtis-alexander.com. I have a link in the description. I'll send that to you for free. I think you'll find it helpful. So, rosemary has obviously been used for thousands of years. What do we have though for studies? Because it's always been purported to help with hair growth, but do we have studies? Well, we've got a few. All right. So one of the first ones, they took rosemary oil and they massaged it into the scalp. And they did that for 2 minutes. And then they wrapped the people's heads in a warm towel. And they did that daily for 7 months. And so they took rosemary oil and they compared it to a placebo. And the placebo was just carrier oils. Like I think they used jojoba oil and then grapeseed oil. And at the end of the 7 months, they actually took pictures, gave them to dermatologists, and had them. So it wasn't a subjective. It wasn't somebody in the study going, oh, yeah, I think I grew more hair. It was actually a subjective look at the people's heads. And they found that in 44% of those people, there was hair growth in the control group, or excuse me, in the rosemary oil group. And in the placebo group, there was a 15% increase in hair growth. Sounds great. And in a way it was. But the problem is rosemary oil was not the only ingredient used. They used a concoction of rosemary oil, thyme. There was a couple other oils in there. So we don't know for sure. Was it just the rosemary oil? Was it the thyme and the other ingredients? We don't know. So the 44% can't be attributed just to rosemary oil, in my opinion. The other important point, people will go, well, how can people get hair growth in the group that didn't have any active ingredients? And some of the theories are the massaging brings more oxygenation to the scalp, which helps hair growth. But the bottom line is it's promising, but we can't say for sure it was the rosemary oil. Might have been the other ingredients. However, this next study is really interesting. They took rosemary oil and they compared it head to head with minoxidil 2%. Minoxidil is the active ingredient in Rogaine. The 2% is over the counter. And a couple of interesting things. At the 3 month mark, they did it daily and just comparing one group to the other. At 3 months, neither of them really showed any improvement. But at 6 months, they both showed improvement. And the improvement that was seen in both groups was essentially equal. So what the study found is that it appeared rosemary oil did encourage hair growth, and it did so in about an equal amount compared to the Rogaine or the minoxidil. So that was good. The other good thing about the study is that both products did cause scalp itching in the study, but rosemary was less than minoxidil, so it seemed to be tolerated a little better. Still caused some itching, but less so than the minoxidil. And they actually looked at physical hair counts in this study. So that was a promising study in my mind. And coupled with this, overall, I feel that rosemary oil is promising. So a couple of the positive things that I'm getting from the studies, as well as feedback that I've gotten from people, is, it appears to be helpful. The other important thing in any of these types of products is it safe. Outside of the itching that I mentioned in the one study, appears to be relatively safe. The downside is, again, one of the studies had multiple ingredients, so that kind of downplays the rosemary oil. And in both studies, it became very clear you're not going to see results quickly. I have had people tell me that, oh, I saw results in 3 to 4 weeks. I would say that's going to be the exception rather than the rule. I think you have to go in with the mindset that I'm going to have to do this long term, 6, 7 months, and you may see some results. So if you're going to take it, if you're going to use this essential oil to try to do this, couple of points. You do want to dilute it in a carrier oil. I mentioned earlier you could use something like jojoba oil. You can use coconut oil, you can use grapeseed oil, but you want to dilute it. You do not want to put an essential oil just by itself on your skin. That can cause irritation. Speaking of which, you want to test, once you mix it, you want to test it on a small patch first, make sure you don't have any allergies. And then again, you're going to want to use long term. You may see results earlier, but definitely long term. So, bottom line is, I think it's worth a shot. I would love to hear your feedback in the comments if you've done this before. If you've used rosemary oil for hair growth, did you experience good results? I love hearing your guys' feedback, and I know other people that watch the video that are looking at this enjoy your feedback as well. So let me know in the comments. I hope this was helpful, you guys. I'll see you in the next one. Thank you.